All right, so this is about what your water is going to look like. You can also use a thermometer to verify, and then you're going to add your grain bag. So here's the 2 grains that were used in this recipe, and then we put them in the grain bag, tie it off at the top, and then we're going to steep the grains for 25 minutes and obviously remove the pot from the heat because we don't want it to get hotter. We want the grains to just... All right, so now we're going to lower the grain bag into here. You can move it around a little. Same idea as a tea bag. And you already see how the grains are starting to, just like a tea bag, you're seeing the color start to come out of there. So then we're going to leave this, cover it for about 25 minutes. All right, so now this has been steeped, and then you want to discard the grain bag. And now we're going to add 1 gallon and get this to a boil. All right, so this is the first of 3 extract elements we're going to add. I'm going to add them all in, and then we can start to stir them. The thing with these sugars is you don't need to have it at a boil yet, but you do want it to be hot enough for them to be able to dissolve into the water. All right, now we got the liquid malt extract. Right, so there's 2 of these. So basically just get it down into there until it's empty as it can be. I like to scrape it out with a wooden spatula and then do the other one, and then you get it back onto the heat, and then you get it to a boil. Then the exciting part, really the easy part, adding the hops at the correct intervals of the boil. Now for the second one. Okay, now for the second one, 100% pure liquid malt extract. Pretty standard. All right, since I don't have 3 hands, I had to do this filming in one and pouring with the other. But generally what I like to do is, as I'm pouring, stir, because with the heat on the bottom of the pan here, or the pot, you don't want the sugars to stick, and that's the reason why you take it off of the heat to begin with, so that you can give it a chance to get it off of the bottom of the metal. And so yeah, you stir it sufficiently, and then once the sugars are dissolved, then you return it to the heat. You bring it to a rolling boil, and then you start to add the hops, which, like I said, is the fun part. And then after the boil, you're cooling it down, adding more water, and getting ready to pitch your yeast, which creates your beer. Right, and as you're getting that going, definitely, I like to use a wood spatula, but you can kind of try to hit the bottom of the pot so that you can make sure you scrape all of that excess sugar off of there. All right, so see, it's starting to roll here. So we're gonna get these Chinook hops 20 minutes, and then the next round of these 20 minutes, and then the Cascade in the last 20 minutes. And every recipe is different. This is one I ordered, Brewer's Best kit, an IPA. So pretty simple. All right, so last step, Cascade hop pellets, 20 more minutes. And then the wort is complete. Add 2 more gallons after it's cooled down and pitch the yeast, and then you've got your beer going. All right, so we've got the wort in there with 1.5 gallons. Adding the final gallon of water. I'm sorry, the final half gallon of water. And then the last step here, before closing the lid, is going to be pitching the yeast. And as you can see here, we have our, let's get a good angle on that, airlock. There we go. Right, so it's got a little bit of water in there. And, oh no, the water fell out. I need to fill that. But here we go with the yeast, and then I'll top that airlock off. What we got here is active dried ale brewing yeast. Pretty straightforward. Gonna just sprinkle this in here, right? Get it all out, and then going to, this is actually a new one. I've never tried this, but this is a twist lock. It's kind of threaded, so get this closed. There we go. And then I actually just drilled a hole in this and then put a gasket here and then put the airlock